them later. So
Good
here's a
stuff.
question we got from Specterfield. Will more characters receive improved rage arts, or I guess updated rage arts like Devil Jin and Dragonov?
ちょっと変えてるよね。
うん。
まだ見てないやつとか。ね。
あ、
フレイジャーツ
ここにクエスチョン出るんだ。
あ、そうそう。
オッケーオッケ
で、
うん
俺、マークマンと初日デビルジンのやつ見せたりとかしてて、まあ、ドラゴノフみんな知って
ー。あ
るし。、
そうね。もちろんドラゴノフとかいくつかのやっぱり、我々がもともともっとユニークにしたいと思ってたキャラだったり、鉄拳7で、これは別に隠してもしょうがないんで、やっぱりユーザーから不評だったり、これって昔のアニメーションを少しアレンジしただけじゃないのって言われてるようなものとかを、完全リニューアルしたりっていうので使ってる。だから実はこれからまだまだ、今変わってないキャラとかもいるんだけど、新しく付け足されたりもしくはリニューアルされるキャラクターもいます。
There's still a few, you know, for Tekken 7 there was a few characters that we wanted to make them stand out, make them a little bit more unique. That was one of the reasons for changing them. And some of them, you know, just to be honest, there's no point in hiding it, but when the players saw some of them, they're like, oh, this is just animations from so and added and arranged
Yes.
and whatever. So we wanted to change those characters as a, you know, a result of that feedback. So there are some that aren't in this current build that you'll see later.
Nice. We're really looking forward to that. I think we kind of touched upon it a little bit yesterday. But I think more importantly, a lot of people, like you said, they've been complaining like, oh, same old functionality. A lot of people had on their wish list, well, they want to see maybe multiple rage arts. But I think what you guys have
Right.
kind of changed that with the introduction of rage attack.
Right.
So another way to use your rage.
複数のレイジャーツ見たいというユーザーの要望あったけど、まあ、レイジアタック、今変わったんだっけレイジ
レイジードライブにしようかなと思って。
そうだよね。That's one thing we had to ask about actually, you know. So, I don't know about American players so much, but for Japan, they like to boil down everything to 2 letters, right?
Yep.
So, Rage Attack, Rage Arts we had, right?
Oh, they're
they
both
call that
R-
RA.
Oh, you're right.
Rage Attack was RA. It didn't come up at the time, you know. But then it was like, hey, what should we do about this? So we're thinking about changing the name, and it's kind of hard. I thought, you know, Rage Strike, something like that, but it's not always an attack. You know, sometimes it's some kind of special animation or something. So a lot of people are calling it Rage Drive, and we think we might go with that. You know, I thought it sounded a little 2D at first, but there isn't anything really more appropriate than that. So, and you know, when players already have their own name, they tend to use that, like the move names and such. So why not?
Interesting. Okay, so Spectrify, thank you for your question. Hopefully that answered some of your. Oh, here we go. Oh no. So we have Mac
Nice pick. I like
asking.
Shianu,
I think this question has come up a lot, Harada-san. I know a lot of people ask you, what is the probability of Tekken 7 on PC?
これも結構答えてるけどね。
そうね。まあ、今回アンリアルエンジン4っていうこともあるので、技術的には昔はプレイステーションネイティブって言われるね、ちょっとみんなには理解しにくいかもしれない。プレイステーションネイティブで書かれたプログラムコードだったので、例えば Xbox360 に移植するのもすごく大変だったんですよ。で性能も実はなんていうのかな、最初から Xbox360 向けに作ったり PC のようなコードで書いてれば、スペックも出やすいんだけど、うちらはプレイステーションで最大限出るように作ってたので非常に移植が難しかった。そういう観点で言うと今回は可能性はゼロじゃないんじゃないかなと思いますね。
So this, we need to go back, and you already know this, Mark.
Yep.
But so before in past installments, Tekken was made on PlayStation architecture, starting from the arcade,
Yep.
right? So what this meant was, you know, it's kind of difficult because most people tend to think of programming for PC and such. But we had to try to get as much out of the game as possible on that hardware. So the programming was done specifically to make full use of the capabilities of the PlayStation architecture for the arcade.
And you think, though, it was kind
of
of limited in that scope and aspect as well because you were limited to using
well,
that
it was
hardware.
specialized. It was
Yes,
specialized.
okay.
And so then when we had to port for 360, you know, when we did the 6, it was very difficult because the code was written specifically for that platform, and then you had to take it over, where a lot of Western developers developed on PC and then port and such.
I see.
And this time we develop on PC and also using Unreal. So I wouldn't say the possibility is zero, but there's nothing really we can announce at this time. It's PS4 is the only platform we've announced.
Understood. Now, I have a question. Since we're looking at the screen right now, we see two of the revamped costumes for both Paul and for Lili. Now, is this something that was done internally? Have you guys always planned on doing different costumes and outfits as the default?
No question. Yeah.
Or was it something that was stemmed from fan feedback?
No, this was just, you know, Harada and I were talking to the team about, you know, I touched on this yesterday, that a lot of the characters, like Paul was always a red dogi or uniform, right?
Gi, yeah.
And people like, it hasn't changed since Tekken 1 or 2, but it had. It little details and such, but apparently, you know, that wasn't enough. So Harada and I were talking to the team about, let's do something more drastic. And this isn't a guest artist, this is our internal ones. And so we just tried to come up with concepts that fit the character, but they were just totally something we haven't done before.
Oh, you did the Rage Drive version. Gotta get used to that.
Yeah, so I mean, Harada and I actually went back and forth with the designers quite a bit about these costumes. Especially, I gave a lot of feedback on Paul. I'm really happy with the Paul costume, it's pretty cool.
I kind of get the vibe of a bit of the Hokuto no Ken vibe from him. It looks pretty post-apocalyptic badass.
Well, you know, he's got that biker theme that he's had in past installments as well,
Yep.
and to try to kind of renew that, and the American themes. So it's pretty cool.
All right, let's see what else do we have from the Twitter world. Oh, wow. This is a kind of a touchy question. So Simeon777 asks, could we possibly get a survey so we can say if we either like or hate the designs of specific Tekken 7 characters?
ああ、サーベイ取るってこと？
So
I don't know how that would help, but
難しいね。
yeah.
Well, you know, this is difficult because if it's our marketing staff, it's okay, but people don't realize what's really involved in a survey. It's not just yes and no. We used to have a specific team that actually did analysis, I guess you would say, the research
Analysis and outreach and stuff like that?
So you have to actually design the poll to ask not exactly on the surface, not only on the surface what they want, but you have to kind of be able to read what they're saying underneath of that too. So those are actually really well designed by professionals when they do that, and then you have to spend time on like evaluating that and all that. So if we're doing that here, that slows down the game development. So I don't know if that's the best course. If it's done by our marketing people, maybe, because you know they're doing one currently for the series.
Yes.
As a whole. I would say, and I've told other people this, you know, just to have that discussion on a Facebook group or TZ, and just send the link to Harada and I.
Yeah, and be vocal on Twitter. But like I said, don't spam us on Twitter. Just mention it, because I know you guys read. You try to read as much as you can.
Yeah.
But there's no way that you guys can reply to everybody. So again, please mention it on Twitter. Don't spam it. But the feedback from the fans is important.
We're listening. You know, just
Yeah.
because we heard it doesn't mean we can make it happen all the time.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we try our best, but we can't do everything.
Understood.
あとやっぱ難しいのは統計とか結構俺大学時代意外と心理学と統計とかを専門にやってたんだけど統計って詳しい人見たら分かると思うけどすごく難しくてこういう意見取るときだとネットに意見書く層っていうのがいるんだね。であとトーナメントによくこうやって積極的に来る層とそこは必ずしも一致しないし今度はネットの意見も見ない一般のもうちょっと層もいるしたくさんの層に分かれててサイレントマジョリティってどこにあるのかっていうことも考慮するとそういうサーベイを取るっていうこと自体が必ずしもそこに書いてあることが正しいとは限らないっていうのが統計の難しいところですね。
むしろあれだよね、原田さんが言ってた、ネットの情報をピックアップして、全部考慮しようとしたら鉄拳4みたいな。
もしくは
って言った
なるかもしれないし、もしくは矛盾したことがユーザーの間でも意見は矛盾してるわけだから相反してるわけだから反対の意見もあるわけだからそれを全部合わせちゃうと何が正解か分かんなくなっちゃうよね。
So he was just adding to the discussion about the survey. He actually majored in psychology and also kind of
interesting.
research on that survey and such as well. And the one thing that people maybe don't realize is there's different groups of people that buy the game, right? One of them is a group that's very vocal on the internet. Another is maybe people who go to the tournaments. They often have very different opinions. And then there's also another group that doesn't do either, that could be much larger. and their opinions wouldn't be reflected in that. So making a decision based solely on that is pretty dangerous. If there were if we, in turn also went out and tried to get that group that you don't reach by either two of those, then maybe that's more valid results. But it's a lot bigger project than I think a lot of people realize.
Understood.
If you want to do it properly.
Understood. And I think that's always been hard to capture in the past, but now with the dawn of the internet and how accessible you guys are, it's kind of changing the landscape, don't you think?
Yeah. So I mean, even that said, we still do listen to the opinions, and we try to make sure that they're consistent across the different groups that we're hoping to appeal to.
All right, so we'll probably take a few more questions, guys, because we're going to run into the exhibition pretty soon. But we'll see what else we have. I know Dre's trying to pull up some stuff on the screen. But again, we were talking about this yesterday. This is kind of like a throwback stage from what we've seen in the past. Dragon's Nest and Tekken 5 DR. I would like to see more of these. I think this is really cool. Now, we talked about what fans want to see.